Good morning, friends. I'm here with Mike. This is
Yep.
Steve and Mike show. Hmm.
Uh-huh.
We had a lovely breakfast together. Mike picked me up around 8 o'clock, and I had all my stuff packed, kind of full. I'm hoping to make it through the weight restrictions at the airport on the amount of stuff I'm bringing back, which is more than I went with because I did some Kohl's shopping. But none of this is Kohl's shopping. So this is and if I upload this, then Linda will probably watch the video. I'll send it to her to kind of make her watch it. But Linda is a person that I've been taking care of, as a chiropractor healer for 40 years, and she's one of the loves of my life. And there aren't really as many as people might think, but there are numerous people that are just touch my heart and soul at such a deep, deep level that we just keep coming back and doing this again and again, life after life. We find each other and then we hang out together and talk about old times, go back to old times, resolve old times. But there's this story that Linda mentioned to Mike. It might have been the first time Mike heard the story, but did she mention when the date, how long ago it was her husband Tom passed away?
No, she didn't.
I think it was possibly 2017. It could have been, yeah, I think it was around 7 years ago, which would have made it around 2017. And Linda had come in to see me in the Center for Sacred Living, which is the space that I still do my healing work out of when I come back to Ann Arbor. And Linda had come in for healing session, and Tom had come in with her. And when Linda was done and we went out to the front and Tom was sitting there, I had a feeling that Tom was coming towards the end of his life. And I didn't feel like anybody could represent him better in his clothes. And so I said to him, hey, I don't know what you're planning to do with your clothes, but it'd be really great if you left them to me in your will. And Tom looked at me and smiled, and he said, I'll do that. And so it wasn't much later that he passed away. And then the next time Linda came in to see me, the next time I was back and she came in to see me, she brought me some of his clothes. And when I put them on, I just felt his presence, to the point that at one point when Linda was putting up with me for a week during another journey to Ann Arbor, Dexter, she asked me to, if I could do some things. So I'm fairly functional at a number of things: carpentry, some minor plumbing. The kind of larger plumbing, makes me nervous. But and then electrical stuff I can do, and just repair work in general. I can MacGyver almost anything back into function again. So she had asked me to do some things, and I had asked her where Tom's tools were, and she had told me where they were, and shown me the barn. And I went out to the barn, and I couldn't find things, and I found myself being shown where things were. and I realized that it was more than likely the spirit of Tom that was showing me. I could actually hear his voice, and he'd say, well, that I keep over here. It makes sense. He'd actually explain to me why he kept things where he did, because they're easier for him to get to. So that was, maybe this will be for YouTube, or maybe this will just be for Linda. Maybe I'll make this as a private video for Linda. But anyway, Mike, who's been friends with my friend Kim longer than most anybody. I mean, his brother's known him his whole life because he was the younger brother, but I think Mike said that it was in 1961 that he and Kim became friends. And were you in 6th grade or something?
Yeah, it would have been 6th grade.
Yeah. So in 6th grade, a really time for boy bonding, to find that person that you get along with, you feel easy with, and you do things that, your parents wouldn't approve of. And you possibly do them frequently, and most of the time get away with it. Sometimes not. But anyway, Mike's been, I would say, one of my best friends. And so now Mike and I, kind of in that triangle, are starting to become best friends. And we didn't even really need time to have that happen. We just needed to get to know each other's energy and go, oh, this is the kind of person you want to be best friends with. And so he drove out to Dexter, rural Dexter, picked me up. We went to breakfast at what I still call the lighthouse. They call it Riverview now, and it has a Riverview, but it's always going to be the lighthouse, because that's what it was when my children were growing up and we went out to breakfast there. And they were getting older. So we went and had breakfast, and we talked, and just kind of increased that feeling of, at least for me, and he's sitting next to me, so and he's quiet, unlike me, so it's a good couple. But we connected those heart energies. We did that process where we were just having conversations, but because I'm energetically aware, and Mike is too, but he just doesn't want to be quite as aware. He's just good just being solid, stable, balanced, grounded, and I'm more of an explorer. I even look like from Raiders of the Lost Ark or something today. But I just felt like this heart bonding or heart opening. It was a heart something. But one of the things I admire most about Mike is his groundedness. So he lives in the center of his being, which I've only come to know since December of last year. So I've only been working with that deep centering for the past 11 months. But now that I'm working with it and feeling it, I'm starting to recognize others who live in it. So Mike's one of them. My friend Phil is one of them. And as I began to recognize this state, I've realized that Phil has been in it since I met him and began working with he and his family, he and his children, and soon to be grandchild. I think his grandchild was to be they went in the hospital for her birth yesterday. So I'm guessing that it might be a girl, so it'll be interesting to find out if it is a girl. If it's not a girl, then it's a very balanced boy. So Phil is a person that is very balanced in his male-female energy. He's very open and receptive. He's very strong and stable. And so he's always been I've been a healing mentor for him. He's been a human being mentor for me. He's shown me what is possible for a man to be a new man, a very full energied man with both male and female energies, with a kind, receptive heart, but a strength to get things done. And I'm starting to be really open and more attracted to these men. It's always been easier for me with these open-hearted women to just learn from them and not feel threatened by their open-heartedness and their willingness to give me the time to let my heart open, which has been quite, it's been opening steady. But as I say about my friend Kim sometimes, he's got a heart of gold and a head of lead. And I'm going to stop saying it because he's got symptoms of dementia now, of memory loss, and it may be just what he needs to do right now to work with all that he's working with, in terms of getting sprayed with Agent Orange and having artillery fire shot off by his people right next to his head and blowing out his eardrum. Multiple things falling on his head throughout his life. But I think I'm going to keep the image of getting the lead out. Just letting that leaden consciousness release and allow the lead to turn into gold. So not only does he have a heart of gold, which he already has, but I'm going to visualize him having a head of gold. And already it's helping. I can feel the energetics, my energetics about him changing when I change my image of him to having a heart and head of gold. And it's said by many different people and cultures and over time that we're moving into a golden age. That's one construct. Another construct is that we're moving into the age of Aquarius, which somebody mentioned that song, The Dawning of the Age of Aquarius, and I wrote back, she made a comment on YouTube, and I wrote back and I said, yeah, did you know who made that song? Who the band's name was? And I'm not going to answer it immediately here. I may make, if this is published, I may make you write a comment and say, well, unless you know, if you know who the band's name was, then you know that it's the dawning of the age of Aquarius. It was some kind of psychic prophecy or intuitive prophecy. And even the band's name was an awareness of something that hadn't come into the awareness yet in people. It began to come into the awareness through the song. So we're moving into the golden age. It will be useful to imagine it for yourself. Imagine yourself having a heart of gold. Imagine yourself having a head of gold. And it's golden light. So gold is heavy, but golden light is not. And it's the golden light that heals us on a soul level. So I think that's enough for now. This will be the healing video because I can feel the healing that's taking place with me. I can feel the healing that's taking place with Mike next to me through working with this field and actually changing the field while we're working with it. So now we're coming up on Highway 23 that goes to Toledo and Flint, and we're about maybe little less than halfway to the Detroit Metro Airport, where I'll be with my many bags. We'll see how many bags they actually let me carry on to the plane. But
I live on the other side of that swamp.
oh, nice.
Yeah.
And Mike lives on the other side of the swamp. And next time I'm going to get over there, even though he keeps his car meticulously, but that's how much bandwidth he has for meticulousness is his car. So everything else is supposedly less than meticulous. So it may be that the next time I come, I may, and this is kind of thing that I actually can visualize, and then get to happen. He can put up with me for, say, a week, and I'll just spread myself around so I don't cause too much damage in any one individual. But my thing, like I said to Linda, and I guess she posted something on Facebook about this, what I said to Linda was, would you mind if I did some vacuuming? And she said it just kind of the way I heard it, not exactly. She could tell you exactly what she said. If you become friends with her on Facebook, you can read about it. But I'm not suggesting it. She said, there were so many things about your question. One was, you asked me if I minded. And that's such a rare thing for me to experience from men, to ask if you mind. And so that was one thing that was really shifted my energy, was starting off a question, would you mind? And then to kind of blow it out completely, say, would you mind if I did some vacuuming? Which are two things that she wasn't used to experiencing with men. First, a man asking her if she minded, and second, a man asking her if it would be okay if he did vacuuming. So now it's in my video. So it's in her Facebook post, it's in my video, and yeah, it would be really great. It will be really great, and is really great. All those who are currently participating in the awareness of the value of kindness, to be truly kind-hearted, and learn, if you don't know how to, learn how to care about others, even if it's a very small number, even if it was only one. If you had a mother that you felt cared about you, to learn to care for others in the way that you were cared for, the way to be safe for others in the ways that people allowed you to feel safe with them. And we just keep doing this until it becomes habitual, and that we actually verbally express to others how dear they are to us. So I'll say that to Mike. I already told him just how dear he has become to me. And I'll say this to you, the people on YouTube, who just through the words you write to me causes me to feel such love and appreciation for you. And you know who you are, because I let you know when you write those amazing words that seem like poetic, and just makes me think, boy, this person can describe things so well. And that's one of the things I appreciate the most, is the words, the poetic words, the creative use of the English language that so gives an image to something that's energetic in nature. So bless all of you who do that. Have a very healing day. At the airport, I might be able to upload this to YouTube, and I think I will, because it really became a stream of consciousness healing session. And so this will be a healing session with Steve. which I had basically been enjoying what Arlen was doing with me so much that I was more and more becoming reliant on Arlen. So Arlen pulled back and said, no, I'll teach you to do something, then you take over and do it, and then I'll come back and teach you to do something. But I'm not doing this so I can do your job. I'm teaching you how to do your job so you can do your job. I don't need your job. If I wanted your job, I would have incarnated, and you could be on this side coaching me. It goes both ways. Everyone's our teacher, and everyone teaches us something different if we're paying attention to what they can teach us. And they may even be teaching us how not to be, or they may be teaching us how well love, peace, kindness, compassion, how well that works in an individual's life. Okay, I'm going to stop. And that's why these videos are 21 minutes and 22 seconds long, because I have a difficult time sometimes slowing down with the excitement that I feel moving in my system. All right, now let's go. Be well.